This is BBC Two, and now Theatre Night. Leo McKern, Miranda Richardson and Jane Lapotaire star in Henrik Ibsen's The Master Builder.
No, I can't go on with this much longer.
It's really bad tonight, isn't it, Uncle?
Yes. It seems to grow worse every day.
You better go home, Father. Try and get some sleep.
Go to bed. You want me to suffocate?
Take a little walk anyway.
Yes, do that. I'll come with you.
I am not going before he comes. This evening, I'm going to have it out with him, the master builder.
Oh, no, Uncle, let that wait.
Yes, better wait, Father.
Oh, I can't afford to wait very long.
Shh, I can hear him coming up the steps.
What's that you're entering there, Miss Fossley?
Oh, just something that...
Let me see. Kaya,
Yes?
why do you take off that eye shade when I come in?
Makes me look so ugly.
And you don't want to look ugly, Kaya.
Not for anything. Not to you.
Poor, poor little Kaya.
Shh, they can hear you.
Has anyone been asking for me?
The couple who want the villa built out at Löfstrand.
Oh, then, they'll have to wait. The plan's not clear in my mind.
They were very anxious to see the drawings as soon as possible.
Yes, they all say that.
They're longing to get into a place of their own.
Yes, yes, I know that sort. They'll take anything with 4 walls and a roof, anywhere to lay their head. Well, that's not my idea of a home. And if that's what they want, they can go to someone else. I'll tell them that next time they come.
Someone else? Would you let the contract go?
Oh, yes, damn it. Yes, if it comes to the point, I'd rather that than build rubbish. Anyway, I don't know these people.
Oh, that sounded enough. Ragnar knows them. He's a friend of the family. Very sound people.
Oh, sound. That's not what I meant. Great God, don't you understand me either? I don't want to have anything to do with people I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, they can go to whoever they like.
Are you serious?
Yes, for once.
May I have a few words with you?
Certainly.
Go inside for a moment, Kaya.
But, Uncle...
Do as I tell you, child. And close the doors after you. I don't want the children to see how seriously ill I am.
Yes, you're looking rather poorly these days.
I haven't much longer. My strength grows less every day.
Sit down for a moment.
May I?
There.
Thank you.
Well?
It's this question of Ragnar. That's what weighs most on my mind. What's to become of him?
Your son. He can stay here with me for as long as he wants to.
But that's just it. He doesn't want to. He doesn't feel he can now.
He's doing rather well for himself, I would have thought. Still, if he wants a little more, I wouldn't be unwilling to.
That's not it. It's time he was given the chance to do something on his own.
Do you think he has the ability?
That's what's so dreadful. I've begun to have doubts about the boy. In all these years, you've never uttered so much as a single word of encouragement about him. But it must be there. I can't believe that he hasn't got the ability.
But he doesn't know anything, not really, except how to draw.
You didn't know much either, did you? When you were working for me, but you managed to get started all right. Fought your way up. Put me out of business. And plenty of others.
Yes, things worked well for me.
That's right. Everything worked out nicely for you. But surely you won't let me die without seeing what Ragnar can do. And I'd like to see them married before I go.
Does she want that?
Oh, not Carr so much. It's Ragnar. He talks about it every day. You must help him to stand on his own feet now. I must see the lad do something on his own. Do you hear?
Oh, damn it, I can't conjure contracts out of the air for him.
He could get a commission right away. A nice big job.
Oh, could he?
If you agree.
And what sort of a job would that be?
Well, he could build that villa out at Löfstrand.
Oh, that. Well, I'm going to build that myself.
Oh, but you don't really want to do that.
Who dared say that?
You said so yourself.
Oh, never
just
mind
now.
what I say. Could Ragnar get that contract?
Yes. He knows the family, you see. And then well, just for the fun of it, you know, he's made drawings and estimates and so on.
These drawings, are they satisfied with them, these people who are going to live there?
Yes. If you'd only just look through them and approve them, then
They'd like Ragnar to build their home for them.
They were very taken with his idea. They thought it so new and original.
Oh, new. Not like the old junk that I built.
They thought this was different.
So it was Ragnar they came to see while I was out.
They came to talk to you and to ask you if you'd be willing to give way to...
I? Give way to your son?
Rescind the contract.
Well, what's the difference? So that's it. How far Sulnes is to retire? Retire to make way for younger men, for apprentices. Make way for the young, make way, make way.
Good heavens, there's room in this town for more than one.
There's not so much room around here either, but that is not the point. I shall never give way. I shall never make way of my own free will. Never, never.
Won't you let me die in peace? Happy, believing in my son. Won't you let me see him do one thing on his own?
Don't ask me that now.
Yes. Answer me. Must I die so poor?
You must die as best you can.
So be it.
I can't do otherwise, don't you understand? I am what I am. I cannot create myself anew.
No! No! You can't. You can't do that. No. May I have a glass of water?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Ragnar! You'd better take your father home.
What is it, Father?
Take my arm. Let's go.
Kaya, get your coat on.
No. Miss Fossley must stay for a few minutes. I have a letter to write.
Good night. And sleep well, if you can.
Good night.
Have you got a letter?
No, no, of course not. Kaya,
Yes.
come here at once.
Yes.
Come closer.
What do you want me to do?
Is it you I have to thank for this?
Oh, no, please don't think that.
So you want to get married now?
Ragnar and I have been engaged for nearly 5 years, so
So you think it's about time something happened. That's it, isn't it?
Ragnar and Uncle say I must. So I suppose I shall.
And you're quite fond of Ragnar too, aren't you?
I was very fond of Ragnar before I came here.
Oh, not any longer.
You know there's only one person now. There's no one else in the world. I'll never be fond of anyone else.
Oh, you say that. But you're going to leave me all the same. Leave me to deal with everything alone.
But couldn't I stay here with you even if Ragnar left?
No, no, that's impossible. If Ragnar leaves me and sets up on his own account, he'll want to have you with him.
Oh, I don't feel I can leave you. I can't. Possibly I can't.
Then try to get Ragnar to put these foolish ideas out of his head. Marry him as much as you like. I mean, get him to stay on in this good position he has with me. Because then I can keep you too, Kaya, dear.
Oh, yes. How wonderful. If only it could work out like that.
I must have you with me every day.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Kaya. Kaya.
You're so kind to me. So wonderfully kind.
Get up, for heaven's sake. I think I hear someone.
Halvor,
Oh, it's you, Lena, dear.
I've come at an inconvenient moment, I see.
Not at all. Miss Fossley was just writing a short letter for me.
So I see.
What is it you wanted, Alina?
I only wanted to tell you that Dr. Hirdal is in the drawing room. Would you like to come in and join us, Halvor?
Does he have something special to say to me?
No. Nothing special. It's just that he came to visit me and he'd like to see you while he's here.
Yes, I'm sure he would. Ask him to wait a moment.
You'll come and talk to him later, then?
Oh, perhaps. Yeah, later, my dear, later, in a little while.
Yes, well, you won't forget now, will you, Haver?
Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm sure she thinks something dreadful about me.
Oh, nonsense. Not more than usual, anyway. But I think you ought to go now, Kaya.
Yes. Yes, I must go now.
And I want this other thing settled. Do you hear?
Oh, God, if it were only up to me.
I want it settled, do you hear, and by tomorrow.
If there's no other way, I'll break it off with him.
Yep. Break it off? Are you mad? Do you want to break it off?
Yes, I'd rather that than... I must stay here with you. I can't leave you. I can't possibly.
But for Christ's sake, what about Ragnar?
Is it Ragnar, you...
No, no, of course not. You don't understand me. Of course it's you I want, Kaya, above all else. It's because of that you must persuade Ragnar to stay. Now then, run along home.
Yes. Good night, then.
Good night. Oh, by the way, are Ragnar's drawings in there?
Yes, I didn't see him take them.
Well, go and find them for me. I'll have a glance at them after all.
Yes, please do.
I'll do it for your sake, Kaya. Oh, hurry up and find them then.
All the drawings are here.
Good. There.
Good night, then. Think kindly of me, won't you?
I always do, my dear little Kaya. Well, hurry up then, run along.
Oh, I couldn't keep the doctor waiting any longer.
Oh, come in then.
Quite finished your letter, Miss Fossley?
Letter?
Yes, it was only a short one.
It must have been very short.
You may go, Miss Fossley. Be sure to be here punctually tomorrow.
Of course. Good night, Mr. Saunders.
You must be very pleased, however, to have got hold of this young lady.
Yes, she's useful in all sorts of ways.
I'm sure she is.
And she's good at bookkeeping, too?
Oh, she's picked up a little in these 2 years. She's always so cheerful and willing, whatever one asks her to do.
That must be a great advantage.
Yes, it is, especially when one isn't used to that sort of thing.
Halvar, how can you say that?
No, Alina, I apologize.
There's no need. Doctor, you'll come back later and have supper with us then?
Yes, I'll just go and see my patient and then I'll come back.
Good.
Oh, are you in a hurry, Doctor?
No, not really.
Then, could I have a word with you?
By all means.
Let's sit down.
Ah,
Tell me, Doctor. Did you notice anything about Alina?
Well, just now, you mean?
Yes, yes. In her attitude toward me. Did you notice it?
Yes, well, damn it. I mean, one couldn't help noticing that your wife...
What?
Well, she doesn't altogether approve of this Miss Fossley.
Oh, that. I'd noticed that myself.
Well, it's quite reasonable, isn't it?
What is?
Well, that she can't stand you having another woman with you in the house every day.
Oh, no, you may be right, but there's nothing to be done about that.
Well, couldn't you get yourself a male clerk?
Well, the first man Jack that puts his head in the door. No, thank you. That's not the way I work.
Yes, but if your wife... She's very frail, you know. I mean, if she can't stand this arrangement...
Well, she'll have to put up with it.
Oh.
No, I didn't mean it like that. But I must keep Kaya Fossley. She's the only one who'll do.
The only one?
The only one.
Look here, Mr. Saunders. May I ask you a question in strict confidence?
By all means.
Women, you know, they have a damnably sharp nose for some things.
You're right, they have, yes. But...
No, just listen for a moment. Now, if your wife can't stand the sight of this, Kaya Fossley...
Yes, what then?
Well, isn't it at all possible that there might be some, you know, grounds for this, instinctive dislike?
Oh.
No, look, please, don't take this amiss, but am I right?
No.
No grounds whatsoever?
None whatsoever, other than her own suspiciousness.
Well, you have known a few women in your time.
Yes, I have.
Yes, and you've been fairly fond of one or two of them.
Yes, that too.
But this Miss Fossley, there's nothing like that between you.
Nothing whatsoever. At least as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, but what about her?
I don't think you have the right to ask that question, Doctor.
Well, we were discussing your wife's instinct, remember?
So we were. Well, yes, as a matter of fact, that sharp nose of Alina's that you were talking about may not altogether have misled her.
Oh, well, there we are.
Dr. Haredale, I'd like to tell you a strange story, if you'd care to listen to it.
Oh, yes. I like listening to strange stories.
Good. Well, then, you remember, I dare say, that some time ago I took old Bruvik and his son Ragnar into my employ when things were going badly for the old man.
Yes, I know something about that.
Yes, they're damn clever, those two. They both have ability in different ways. Oh, but then the son went and got himself engaged. And then, of course, he wanted to get married and set up on his own. That's what they all want nowadays, these young people.
Yeah, they've all got this bad habit of wanting to get married.
Well, I didn't like it. I needed Ragnar. Well, and the old man, too, he's damn clever at working out stresses and cubic content and all that bloody nonsense, you know.
Well, I suppose it's all part of the job, I suppose.
Yes, it is. But Ragnar wanted to start up on his own. He wouldn't listen to me.
But he stayed with you.
That's just it. Now, one day, this girl, Kaya Fossley, came to them on some errand or other. She'd never been here before. Well, when I saw how infatuated they were with each other, the idea came to me that if I could get her to come here and work in the office, Ragnar might stay too.
Well, that's a reasonable supposition.
Yes, but I didn't mention a word of this. I just stood and looked at her, and I wished from the bottom of my heart that I had her here. Well, I chatted to her about one thing and another in a friendly way, and then she left.
Well?
But the next evening, when old Bruvik and Ragnar had gone home, she came back. And she behaved as though we had come to some kind of an agreement.
What kind of agreement?
The very one that I had been wanting to suggest, but about which I had not said one word.
That was very strange.
Yes. And then she wanted to know what kind of work she'd be doing, whether she could begin at once the next morning and so on.
Don't you think she did this just to be near a young man?
That's what I thought at first, but no, that wasn't it. She drifted away from him when she was here with me.
Drifted over to you?
Completely. I've noticed that she always knows when I'm looking at her, even when her back's turned. And, she trembles and shivers if I even stand near. What do you make of that?
Well, I suppose that could be explained.
Yes, but what about this other business? That she thought I had told her what I'd only wished for. Silently, inwardly, secretly. How do you explain that? Can you explain such a thing to me, Dr. Haredale?
No, that's outside my field.
That's what I thought. That's why I haven't wanted to talk to you about it before. But in the long run, you know, it's been a confounded nuisance to me. Have to walk up and down here day after day, pretending that I... And it's not fair on her, the poor girl. But what can I do? If she goes, Ragnar will leave too.
You haven't told your wife any of this?
No,
Well, why on earth don't you then?
because somehow I feel it does me good to suffer Alina to do me an injustice.
Well, I'm damned if I understand a word of that.
Yes. It's like a tiny installment on a huge debt. A debt so vast it can never be settled.
A debt to your wife?
Yes. And that makes me easier in my mind. I can breathe more freely for a while. Do you understand?
No, I'm damned if I understand a word.
Well, we won't talk about it anymore. I dare say you think you've been drawing me out very successfully, eh, Doctor?
Drawing you out? I really don't know what you mean, Mr.
Oh,
Solness.
stop pretending. I've noticed it clearly enough.
Noticed what?
That you've come here to keep an eye on me.
I? Why on earth should I do that?
Because you think I'm... Damn it, you think about me the same way as Alina does.
And what does she think about you?
Well, she's begun to think that I'm... Well, you know... ill.
Ill? You? Well, she's never mentioned a word of this to me. Wonder what on earth could be the matter with you, my dear chap?
Alina thinks I'm mad. Oh, yes, she does.
Oh, no, my dear Mr. Solness.
Yes, by God, she does. That's what she thinks. And she's got you to believe it, too. I know it. I can see it in your behavior. I am not so easily fooled, Doctor, I promise you.
Never, Mr. Solness. Never has such a thought entered my head.
Indeed. Hasn't it really?
Never! Nor your wife's either. I think I could swear to that.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. You see, she might not be altogether wrong.
Oh, no, this is going too far.
Oh, well, then we won't pursue it.
No.
It's best left as it is. Now listen, Doctor.
Yes.
As you don't think that I'm ill, deranged, mad, or anything like that.
Well, what do you mean?
Oh, well, then I dare say you must be laboring under the illusion that I'm a very lucky man.
Oh, would that be an illusion?
Oh, no, of course not, God forbid. I mean, to be a master builder, the master builder. Alma, Solness, oh, that's not to be sniffed at.
Oh, no, I really must say, you seem to have been unbelievably lucky all your life.
Yes, I can't complain.
I mean, first of all, that crazy old castle of yours burnt down. Well, you'll admit, that was a great stroke of luck.
It was Alina's ancestral home, remember?
Yes, well, I mean, it must have been a terrible blow to her.
Yes. She's never got over it, not in all these 12, 13 years.
Oh. What followed must have been the heaviest blow for her.
The one with the other.
But it was that gave you your start. I mean, you began as a poor country lad. You are now. Look, the top man of your profession. Oh, yes, Mr. Solness. You've had the luck on your side, all right.
Yes. That's what makes me so afraid.
Afraid? What? Because you've been lucky?
Day and night I'm afraid because my luck will change.
Oh, nonsense. What should make it change?
Youth!
Ah, rubbish. Youth. You're not past it yet. No, your position's stronger now than it's ever been.
My luck will change, I know it. And I feel it will happen soon. Someone will stand up and demand, make way for me. And then the others will storm in after him, shaking their fists and shouting, "Make way, make way!" Just you wait, Doctor. One fine day, youth will bang on that door.
Well, heaven's sake, I mean, what of it?
What of it? Why, that will be the end for Master Builder Sulness. What's that? Did you hear something?
Is someone banging at your door?
Come in!
Good evening.
Good evening.
I believe you don't recognize me.
No, to be honest, I thought perhaps...
But I recognize you, Miss...
Oh, no, is it you?
Yes, indeed it is. We met up in one of the mountain huts this summer. Well, what happened to the other ladies?
Oh, they went on to the West Coast.
Too noisy for them in the evening.
Yes.
You must admit you flirted a little with us.
Well, it was more fun than knitting socks with all those old ladies.
Yes, I quite agree.
You've just arrived in town this evening.
Yes, I've just arrived.
Oh, are you all alone, Miss Bangle?
Why, yes.
Bangle, is your name Bangle?
Yes, of course.
Ah, then could it be that you're the daughter of the district physician up in Lysanger?
Yes. Who else would I be the daughter of?
That's where we must have met. That summer I came to build the tower on the old church.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah, that was some time ago.
It was exactly 10 years ago.
You must have been only a child at the time.
I was nearly 13.
Is this your first visit to this town, Miss Bangle?
Yes.
Oh, then you don't know anyone here, I suppose.
No one except you. Oh, and your wife.
Oh, really? You know my wife, too?
Only slightly. We stayed in the same place up in the mountains for a few days.
Ah, up there.
She said I might visit her if I ever came this way. Not that there was any need.
I wonder why she didn't mention it to me.
Can I stay the night here?
Oh, I think that could be arranged.
I've no clothes apart from what I'm wearing, you see. Oh, and a set of underclothes in my rucksack. I'll have to get them washed, though. They're filthy.
I'm sure that could be taken care of. I'd better call my wife.
Yes, and I'll just go and see my patient.
Oh, come back when you're finished.
Oh, yes, you can be damn sure I will. Well, you're a true prophet after all, Mr. Sulness.
Oh, what do you mean?
Why, youth has come and banged on your door.
Oh, but not quite the way I meant.
Oh, no, I should say not.
Alina, could you come in here? There's a Miss Bangle here. I believe you know her.
Who is it, you say? Oh, is it you, my dear? So you came this way after all.
Miss Bangle has just arrived. She asks if she may stay the night.
With us? Oh, yes, with pleasure.
To get her clothes in order.
I look after you as best I can. It's my simple duty. Your luggage will be coming on later, of course.
I haven't any.
Oh. Well, I'm sure you'll manage. Just make yourself at home with my husband while I get a room ready for you.
Oh, couldn't we use one of the nurseries? Well, they're all ready.
Yes. There's plenty of room there. Just sit down now and rest a little.
Have you got more than one nursery, then?
There are 3 nurseries in this house.
That's a lot. You must have heaps of children.
No, we have no children. But now you can be the child here for a while.
For tonight, yes. I won't cry. I intend to sleep like a log.
Yes, I expect you must be very tired.
Oh, not me. I'll sleep all right, though. I think it's absolutely marvelous to lie in bed and dream.
Ah, you often dream at night?
Gosh, yes, nearly every night.
What do you mostly dream about?
I shan't tell you tonight. Some other time, perhaps.
Are you looking for something?
No? I'm just looking around. Perhaps I mustn't.
Oh, please do.
Do you write in this big ledger?
No, I leave that to my bookkeeper. She does all of that.
A woman?
Yes,
And she works here with you?
yes.
Is it a married woman?
No, it isn't.
She?
But she's getting married shortly.
How very nice for her.
Yes, but not so nice for me, because then I'll have no one here to help me.
Can't you find someone else who'd do as well?
Well, perhaps you'd like to stay here and write in the ledger.
What an idea. No, thank you. None of that. There are better things for me to do here than that. Don't you think so?
Oh, I understand. You want to go shopping, buy yourself something smart to wear.
No, I think I'll give that a miss.
Oh?
I've spent all my money, you see.
No luggage and no money.
No! Oh, hell. What do I care?
You know I'd like you for that.
Just for that.
Oh, among other things. Is your father still alive?
Yes, he's alive.
Well, now you're thinking of studying here, perhaps.
No, I hadn't thought of that.
But you'll be staying for a while.
That depends. Mr. Soomers,
Yes.
have you a bad memory?
Bad memory? Not that I'm aware of.
Don't you want to talk to me about what happened up there?
What, up at Lisaga? Well, there's not a great deal to talk about, is there?
How can you say such a thing?
Well, then you talk to me about it.
The day the tower was ready was a great day for our little town.
Ah, yes. I shan't forget that day in a hurry.
Would you? That's nice of you.
Nice.
There was music in the churchyard and hundreds of people. We schoolgirls were dressed in white and we all had flags.
Oh, yes, those flags. I remember them.
Then you climbed up the scaffolding, right to the very top. You carried a big wreath with you, and you hung that wreath right up on the weathercock.
Yes, yes, I used to do that in those days. It's an old custom.
It was so marvelously exciting to stand down there and stare up at you. Think, if he should fall now, the great master builder himself.
Yes, could very easily have happened, too. One of those little white devils suddenly waved her flag and shouted up at me.
Hurrah for Sunes! Hurrah for the master builder, yes!
She waved a flag and swung it about so it almost made me giddy watching it.
That little devil was me.
Of course. It must have been you.
It was so frightfully exciting and marvelous. I'd never imagined there was a master builder anywhere in the world who could build such an enormously high tower. And then to see you standing up there yourself, right up at the top. And you weren't at all giddy. That was the thing that made me feel giddy.
What makes you so sure I wasn't?
Don't be silly. I knew it. In here. Otherwise, how could you have stood up there singing?
Singing? What did I sing?
You certainly did.
I have never sung a note in my life.
When you sang then, it sounded like harps in the air.
This is most extraordinary.
But it was afterwards that the real thing happened.
The real thing.
Yes, I don't have to remind you about that.
Yes. Remind me a little about that, too.
Don't you remember they gave a great banquet for you at the club?
Ah, yes, that must have been in the evening. I left the next morning.
After it was over, we invited you home for supper.
Ah, so you did. It's remarkable how you remember all these little details.
Little details? You're a fine one. Was it just a little detail that I happened to be alone in the room when you came in?
Were you?
You didn't call me a little devil then.
No, I don't suppose I
You
did.
said I looked beautiful in my white dress, like a little princess.
And so you did, Miss Wagner. Besides, I felt so happy and free that evening.
And then you said that when I grew up, I would be your princess.
Oh, well, did I say that?
Yes, you did. And when I asked how long I would have to wait, you said you'd come back for me in 10 years like a troll and carry me off to Spain or somewhere like that. And you promised that when we got there, you'd buy me a kingdom.
Well, after a good dinner, one doesn't count the shillings. But did I really say all that?
Yes. And you told me what this kingdom was to be called, too.
Oh, what?
You said it was to be called Oranja.
Well, that's a nice appetizing name.
I didn't like it. It sounded as though you were making fun of me.
Oh, I'm sure I didn't mean that.
I can well believe you didn't, considering what you did next.
What on earth did I do next?
No, that is a last straw. Have you forgotten that, too? I really think you might have remembered that.
Well, give me a hint and perhaps well...
You took me in your arms and kissed me, Mr. Sonas.
I did.
Yes, you did. You took me in both your arms and bent me backwards and kissed me many, many times.
Oh, come now, really, Miss Fangle.
You're not going to deny it.
I certainly am.
Oh, I see.
Miss Bangle. Oh, don't stand there like a statue. Look, all this that you've told me, it must have been something you dreamed. Now listen. Now wait a moment. There's more to it than that. I must have thought all this. I must have wanted it. Wished it. Desired it. So that... Could that be an explanation? Oh, damn it. Have it your own way. Say I did it.
You confess
Yes, anything you like.
that you put your arms around me
Yes.
and bent me backward,
Yes, right back.
kissed me
Yes, I kissed you.
many times.
As many as you like.
You see, I wormed it out of you in the end.
Yes, fancy me forgetting a thing like that.
Oh, you've kissed so many women in your time, I suppose.
I don't want you to think I'm that sort. Miss Wagner,
Yes.
what else happened? What more happened between you and me?
Nothing more happened. You know that. The other guests came in, and then, well...
Oh, yes, the others arrived. Fancy me forgetting that, too.
You haven't forgotten anything. You're just a bit ashamed. One doesn't forget things like that. I know.
Oh, one would think not.
Perhaps you've also forgotten what day it was.
What day?
Yes, what day was it when you hung the wreath on the tower? Well, tell me.
Well-
At once!
Well, I must confess I don't remember the actual day. I know it was 10 years ago, sometime in the autumn.
It was 10 years ago. The 19th of September.
That you're remembering that, too. Just a minute. Today is the 19th of September.
Exactly! And the 10 years are up. And you didn't come as you promised you would.
promised. I only said that to frighten you.
I didn't find it frightening.
Well, to tease you, then.
Or was that all you wanted to do? Tease me?
I don't remember. For fun, if you like. It can't have been anything else. You were only a child at the time.
Well, maybe I wasn't such a child. Not such a little innocent as you think.
Did you really think that I would come back for you?
Oh, yes. I'd expected no less of you.
Come to your house and take you away.
Yes, like a troll.
And make you a princess.
That's what you promised.
And give you a kingdom, too.
Why not? It didn't have to be an ordinary kingdom.
But something else just as good.
Yes, at least as good. If you could build the highest church tower in the world, I thought you'd be able to find your way to a kingdom, too. Some kind.
I can't quite make you out, Miss Fangle.
You can't? To me, it's all so simple.
No, I can't make out whether you really mean what you say, or whether you're simply having me on.
Making fun of you.
Yes, making fun of me. No, both of us. How long have you known that I'm married?
I've known all the time. Why do you ask that?
Oh, just wondered. Why have you come?
Because I want my kingdom. The time's up now.
Ah, that's a good one.
Stuff up my kingdom, Master Builder. On the table.
No, seriously, why have you come? What do you want here?
Well, to begin with, I want to go round and look at everything you've built.
Oh, then you'll have a lot of walking to do.
Yes, you've built such a frightful lot.
Yes, especially in these last few years.
Lots of church spires, too. As high as the sky.
No, I don't build church spires anymore. Not churches, neither.
What do you build now, then?
Homes for people to live in.
Couldn't you put little spires on them, too?
What do you mean?
I mean something that points straight up in the air. With a weathercock high at the top. So high it makes you giddy.
It's strange you should say that. That's exactly what I'd like to do most of all.
Well, why don't you?
No, people don't want that.
Really?
No.
They don't want that?
But now I'm building a new home for myself here, just opposite.
For yourself?
Yes, and that's got a spire on it.
A high spire?
Yes.
Very high?
People will say it's too high for a home.
I'm going out to see that spire first thing tomorrow morning.
Tell me, Miss Fangle, what's your name? Your first name, I mean.
Hilda, of course.
Hilda, really?
Yes, don't you remember? You called me Hilda the day you misbehaved.
I called you Hilda?
Yes, only then you said, little Hilda, and I didn't like that.
So, you didn't like that, Miss Hilda?
No, not just then. But, Princess Hilda, that'll sound quite nice, I think.
Yes, of course. Princess Hilda of... what was the kingdom to be called?
I don't want any of that stupid kingdom. I want a quite different kind of kingdom.
Oh, isn't it strange? The more I think of it now, the more it seems to me as though for years I have been torturing myself.
Go on.
Trying to remember something. Something that happened to me. And that I must have forgotten. And I could never discover what it was.
You ought to have tied a knot in your handkerchief, Master Builder.
Oh, then I would have only gone round wondering what the knot stood for.
Oh, well. I suppose it takes trolls like you to make a world.
I'm glad you've come to me at this time.
Are you glad?
Yes, I've been so alone. Staring at it all, so helpless. And I've begun to be afraid, so terribly afraid. Of youth.
Youth? Is youth something to be afraid of?
Oh, yes. That's why I've shut myself up here. Someday youth will thunder on my door and force its way into me.
Then I think you should go out and open the door.
Open the door.
Yes, and let youth in. As a friend.
No, youth means retribution. It marches at the head of a rebel army under a new banner.
Can you use me, Master Builder?
Yes, I can use you now. For you too march under a new banner. Youth against youth.
Hello. Are you and our young friend still here?
Yes, we found a great deal to talk about.
Both old and new.
Have you indeed?
It's been great fun. The Master Builder has a quite incredible memory. Every little detail. Just like that.
Well, Miss Rannell, your room's ready now.
Oh, how kind you are.
The nursery?
Yes, the middle one. But let's have supper first.
Ah. Hilda shall sleep in the nursery tonight.
Hilda?
Yes, Miss Wangel's name is Hilda. I knew her when she was a child.
No, did you really, however? Please come in. Supper's on the table.
Did you mean what you said? Can you find some use for me?
You are the one I've been needing.
Oh, Master Builder.
Yes,
Then I have my kingdom.
Hilda.
Almost. I was going to say.
Oh, it's you.
I just wanted to tell you I'm here.
Good. Is Ragnar there too?
No, not yet. He had to stay behind to wait for the doctor. He won't be long. He wants to come and ask you how you feel about it.
How is the old man this morning?
Bad. He says, will you please excuse him, but he'll have to stay in bed today.
Oh, by all means, let him. But you go and start work, though.
Yes. Perhaps you'd like to speak to Ragnar when he comes.
No, not particularly.
It wouldn't surprise me if he died too.
Two? Who else?
Yes. Yes, old Bruiser. He'll die too now, however, you'll see.
Lena, my dear, don't you think you should go out and get a little fresh air?
Yes, I should, shouldn't I?
Is she still asleep?
Is it Miss Vernal you're sitting there thinking about?
I just happened to think of her.
Oh, Miss Vernal's been up a long time.
Oh, has she?
When I looked in, she was seeing to her clothes.
Well, we've found a use for one of the nurseries after all. Haven't we, Lena?
Yes, we have.
Well, it's better than that they should all stand empty.
Yes, that emptiness is horrible. You're right there.
Things will be better from now on, Alina. You'll see. Much more satisfactory. Life will be easier to bear, especially for you.
From now on?
Yes, believe me.
You mean because she's come?
I mean, of course, as soon as you move into the new house.
Do you really think that, Halva? Things will be better?
I'm sure of it. Now, you believe that too, don't you?
I don't believe anything where that new house is concerned.
I'm sorry to hear that, my dear. It was mainly for your sake that I built it.
You do much too much for me.
Oh, don't talk like that, Alina. I can't bear to hear you say such things.
Very well, then, Halva. I won't say them.
But I'm right about the new house. You'll see. You will be happy in the new house.
God. I'm happy.
Yes, yes. Don't you see, there'll be so much to remind you of your own home.
Father's and mother's home. Burnt. All burnt.
Yes, poor Alina, that was a terrible blow for you.
You can build as much as you like, Halva. You'll never be able to build a real home for me again.
Oh, well, then, for God's sake, let's not talk about it anymore.
We don't usually talk about it anyway. You always avoid the subject.
I do? Why should I avoid the subject?
Oh, I understand you so well, Halva. You want to spare me. Stop me feeling guilty, as far as you can.
Stop you feeling guilty? Are you talking about yourself, Alina?
Yes. Who else would I be talking about?
That, too?
Oh, it's not so much what happened to the old house. I think I could resign myself to that. After all, that was an accident.
Yes, accidents will happen, and it's no use blaming oneself for them.
But the dreadful thing that happened after the fire, that's what I can't forget. I can't.
Don't think about it, Alina.
But I have to think about it. And I must talk about it sometime. I don't think I can endure it any longer. And I never can forgive myself.
Forgive yourself?
Yes. Because I had a duty to all of you. To you and the children. I should have hardened myself. I shouldn't have let fear weaken me. Or grief for my burnt home. Oh, if only I'd had the strength, Halva.
Alina, you must promise me that you will never let these thoughts enter your head again. Now, promise me that, my dear.
God. Promise. It's easy to promise anything.
Oh, this is hopeless. Not one ray of light ever enters this home. Not a glimmer.
This is no home, Halva.
No, you're right. And God knows you may be right when you say it won't be any better in the new house.
Never. It'll be just as empty and desolate there as it is here.
Then why in God's name have we built it? Can you tell me that?
No. That you must answer yourself.
What do you mean by that, Alina?
What do I mean?
Yes. You said that so strangely, as though you meant something else.
Oh, no, I assure you.
Oh, thank you very much. I know what I know. I've got eyes and ears, Alina. You can be sure of that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You find some cunning, hidden meaning in every harmless little thing I say, don't you?
I do that?
Oh, yeah, but it's quite understandable. When you've got a sick man on your hands, well...
Sick? Are you sick, Halvor?
An idiot, then. Lunatic! Call me what you like!
Halvor, for God's sake.
But you're wrong, both of you. You and your doctor. You're wrong. There is nothing the matter with me. There's nothing the matter with me at all.
No, of course not. But what's worrying you then?
It's this huge weight of debt that's crushing me.
Debt? But you're not in debt to anyone, Halvor.
I owe a boundless debt to you. To you, Aline.
What's behind all this?
There's nothing behind it. I have never done you any harm. Not wittingly, anyway. But it feels as though a great stone of guilt lay on me, weighing me down, crushing me.
Guilt? Towards me, do you mean?
Toward you, most of all.
Then you really are sick, Halvor.
Yes. I suppose I must be. Sick. Or something. Ah. Now it grows lighter.
Good morning, Master Builder.
Slept well?
Marvelously. Just as though I was in a cradle. Oh, I lay there and I stretched myself like a princess.
Really comfortable.
I should say so.
And you dreamed too, I suppose?
Oh, yes. Oh, beastly.
Oh?
I dreamt I'd fallen over a frightfully high, steep cliff. Do you ever have that dream?
Oh, yes, now and then.
It's so exciting as you fall and fall.
Makes me go as cold as ice.
Do you hug your knees up under you as you fall?
Yes, as high as I can.
So do I.
Well, I've got to be going into town now, Halvor. I'll bring you back one or two things you might need.
Oh, darling, beautiful Mrs. Silvers. You're really frightfully sweet. Too sweet.
Not at all. It's my simple duty, and I'm only too glad to do it.
Well, actually, I think I'm all right to go into town as I am. Now that I've made myself smart. Or perhaps I'm not.
Well, to speak frankly, I think one or two people might raise their eyebrows.
Is that all? That'd be rather a lark.
Oh, yes, but some people may think you were mad, too, you see.
No. Are there so many mad people in this town?
Here you see one, anyway.
You, Master Builder?
My dear Halvor, really.
Haven't you noticed yet?
No, I certainly haven't. Oh, yes, perhaps just in one little thing, now I come to think of it.
You hear that, Alina?
In what thing, Miss Vannel?
Oh, no, I'm not telling.
Oh, yes, do tell us.
Oh, no, thanks. I'm not that mad.
When you and Miss Vannel are alone, she'll tell you, Halvor.
Oh, do you think so?
Why, yes. You and she have been such good friends ever since she was a child, so you say.
You think your wife doesn't like me?
Why? Did you notice anything?
Didn't you?
Alina's been very shy with people these last years.
That too.
But if you get to know her properly, she's very good and kind, a really good woman.
If she is, why did she have to talk like that about duty?
About duty?
Yes, she said she'd go out and buy something for me because it was her duty. I can't stand that nasty, beastly word.
Why not?
It sounds so cold and sharp, like a knife. Duty, duty, duty. Don't you feel it too? That it somehow pierces you?
Well, I'm afraid I haven't given it much thought.
Oh, yes. And if she's as good and kind as you pretend, why should she say something like that?
Well, good Lord, what should she have said?
Well, she could have said she wanted to do it because she liked me so much, or something like that she could have said. Something really warm and kind. Don't you think?
So that's what you want.
Yes. Oh, you an awful lot of books.
I've collected a few.
Do you read them all?
I used to try. Do you read?
No. Not anymore. It all seems so meaningless.
That's exactly what I feel.
Have you done all these drawings?
No, a young man who works for me.
A pupil of yours?
Yes, I dare say he's learned something from me, too.
He must be awfully clever, then.
Oh,
Isn't
not
he?
so bad for my purposes.
Oh, yes, he must be frightfully clever.
You can tell that from the drawings, can you?
But this stuff... no. But if he's been studying with you...
Oh, that. Oh, there are lots of people around here that have studied under me, and nothing's become of them.
Upon my soul, I don't know how you can be so stupid.
Oh, stupid. You think I'm so very stupid, then?
Yes, indeed I do. Letting these young men come here and pick your brains.
Well, and why not?
No, Master Builder, that's no good. No one but you should be allowed to build. Only you. Do it all yourself. Now you know.
Hilda.
Yes?
What on earth made you say that?
Well, that's not such a wicked idea, is it?
Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
Well, what?
I'll tell you something. I walk up and down in this house incessantly. In silence and loneliness. Turning that very idea over in my mind.
Yes, well, that's very reasonable.
I dare say you've noticed this.
No, I haven't noticed anything.
Oh, but just now with Alina, when you said I was wrong in the head on one point of the compass, did you...
Oh, I was thinking of something quite different then.
What were you thinking of?
Never you mind, Master Builder.
As you please. Come here. I want to show you something.
What is it?
Up there beyond the big stone pit.
Oh, that new house.
Yes, it's being built. It's almost ready now.
It's got a very high tower, hasn't it?
Yes, the scaffolding's still round it.
Is that your new house?
Yes.
The house you're going to move into soon?
Yes.
Are the nurseries in that house, too?
3, the same as here.
And no children?
There won't be any either.
Well, wasn't I right?
What do you mean?
You are a little mad, after all.
Is that what you were thinking about?
Yes. All those empty nurseries where I was sleeping.
We have had children, Alina and I.
Have you?
Yes, 2 little boys, both the same age.
Twins.
Yes, twins. It's almost 12 years ago now.
You mean they're both... You haven't got these twins any longer?
We only had them for 3 weeks. Hardly that. Oh, Hilda, I'm so glad that you've come. At last I found someone I can talk to.
Can't you talk to her, too?
Oh, not about this. Not the way I want to, need to. Not about much else either.
Was that all you meant when you said you needed me?
Well, it must have been, I suppose. Yesterday, but today, I'm no longer so sure. Oh, come and sit down. There. You can see the garden from there. Do you want to hear about it?
Yes, I love sitting and listening to you.
Then I'll tell you all about it.
Now I can see you and the garden, Master Builder. Now then, tell me, come on.
Up there where you see the new house.
Yes.
That's where Alina and I spent the first years of our marriage. In those days, there was an old house up there which belonged to a mother. She left it to us. And all the grounds with it.
Was there a spire on that house, too?
No, nothing like that. From the outside, it was a great, dark, ugly old pile. But inside, it was nice and cozy enough.
Pull the old thing down.
No, it was burned down.
The whole thing?
Yes.
Was that a terrible blow to you?
It depends how you look at it. It was that fire made me a master builder.
Oh?
Our 2 little boys had just been born.
The poor little twins.
Yes. They looked so healthy and strong when they were born. You could see them growing from day to day.
Babies grow frightfully quickly the first few days.
It was as pretty a sight as you could ever wish to see. Elena lying there with both of them. And then there came the night of the fire.
What happened? Tell me. Was anyone burned alive?
Oh, nothing like that. Everyone got safely out of the house.
Well, then what?
It was the dreadful shock for Elena. The alarm and being rushed out of the house into the ice-cold night. They had to be carried out just as they were, she and the 2 little boys.
And they couldn't stand the cold.
Oh, no, they stood up to that all right. But Elena caught a fever. And it infected her milk. She had to feed them herself. It was her duty, she said. And both our little boys, both of them.
They didn't get over that.
No, they didn't get over that. It took them from us.
Must have been a great loss to you.
It was great enough for me, but it was 10 times greater for her. How can such a thing be allowed to happen in this world? From that day, I lost interest in building churches.
So you didn't enjoy building the steeple on our church?
No, I did not. How relieved and happy I was when it was finished.
Oh, I know that.
So, I shall never build anything like that again, neither churches nor steeples.
Just houses for people to live in.
Homes, Hilda. Homes for men and women and children.
But homes with high towers and spires on top.
Yes, if possible. So, as I say, that fire started me on my way as a master builder.
Why don't you call yourself an architect, like all the others?
Oh, no, I've never studied it properly. Most of what I know I've found out for myself.
But you got to the top, master builder.
Yes. Fanned by those flames. I cut up most of it. And there I was able to build the way I wanted. And from then on, things went well for me.
You must be a very happy man, then, with all the success you've had.
Happy. You say that too, just like all the others.
Yes, I think you should be. If you could only stop thinking about those 2 little boys.
Those 2 little boys are not so easy to forget, Hilda.
So they still stand in your way, after so many years?
A happy man, you said.
Yes, well, aren't you, apart from this?
When I told you about the fire, didn't anything particular strike you?
No, I can't think of anything.
If it hadn't been for that fire, I wouldn't have been able to build homes. Bright, peaceful, comfortable homes where mothers and fathers could live with their children secure and happy in the knowledge that it was good to be alive, but above all, to belong to each other, in great things and in small.
Yes. Doesn't it bring you great happiness to know you can build such wonderful homes for them?
But the price, Hilda, the terrible price I had to pay.
Is there no way to put all that behind you?
No. Because to be able to build homes for other people, I had to renounce forever all hope of having a home of my own. I mean a home with children. A home for their father and mother.
Forever, you say? Was that absolutely necessary?
That was the price I had to pay for this happiness people talk so much about. That happiness. That happiness was not to be had for a lesser price, Hilda.
But perhaps things may still work out.
No, they never can, never. That is another consequence of the fire and of Alina's illness that resulted from it.
And yet you were building all these nurseries.
Haven't you noticed, Hilda, how the impossible beckons motions and calls to us.
Impossible. Oh, yes. Is it like that for you as well?
It is.
Then you have something of the troll in you, too.
Troll? Why troll?
Well, what would you call it?
No, you may be right. But please God, I may never be a troll like the one that mocks me in everything I do. Everything!
What do you mean?
Mark my words, Hilda. Everything that I've created. Beautiful, secure, friendly. Yes, and magnificent. I have to sit here and expiate. Pay for it. And not in money, but with human happiness. And not only my happiness, but with the happiness of others. That is the price my success as an artist has cost me. And others. And every day of my life, I have to sit here and see that price being paid for me. Day after day after day.
You're thinking of her, aren't you?
Yes. But Alina had her calling in life, too, just as I have mine. But she had to be destroyed and annihilated so that I could follow my calling and gain some kind of triumph. You see, Alina had a talent for building, too.
She? For building?
Oh, not houses and towers and steeples, not the sort of thing I bother with.
Well, what then?
Children, Hilda. The souls of children. So that they might grow into something noble, harmonious, beautiful. So they might become worthy human beings. That was where her talent lay. Now it lies there unused, unusable, waste and barren. Like the charred ruins after a fire.
Yes, but even if this were true...
It is, I know it.
Anyway, it's not your fault. You're not guilty.
Aren't I? That's the terrible doubt that gnaws at me night and day.
This?
Yeah. Suppose it is true. Suppose I am guilty. In a kind of way.
You? You mean the fire?
Oh, everything. Everything. Then, on the other hand, I may be quite innocent.
Oh, Master Builder, if you can talk like this, you must be... well, ill, anyway.
I'm afraid so. Incurably so, where this is concerned.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Saunders.
No, come in. Let's get this matter settled.
Oh, yes, we could.
Your father's no better, then?
No, he's sinking fast. So, please, I beg of you, write a few kind words about one of the drawings. Something he can read before...
Don't ask me any more questions about those drawings of yours.
Well, you've looked at them.
Yes, I have.
And they're no good. And I suppose I'm no good either.
Ragnar, stay here with me. You can have whatever you want. You can marry Kaya. All your cares will be over. You might even be happy. But don't try to build on your own.
Very well, I better tell Father this. I promised him I would. Shall I tell Father this before he dies?
Oh, tell him anything you like. No, better not tell him anything. I can't help it, Ragnar. I have no choice.
In that case, may I have the drawings?
Yes, take them away. They're on the table.
No, leave them.
Why?
I want to look at them, too.
But you've already... Very well, then leave them there.
By all means.
Now go back home to your father.
Yes, I suppose I must.
Ragnar! You mustn't ask me something that I cannot do, do you hear? You mustn't do that.
No, of course. Sorry.
It was beastly of you.
You think so, too?
It's really beastly. Hard and vicious and cruel.
You don't understand.
Well, even so, you shouldn't be like that. Not you.
You said yourself a moment ago that I should be the only one allowed to build.
I can say that, not you.
If anyone can say it, I can. I have paid dearly enough for my position.
Oh, yes. domestic bliss and all that.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. Oh, yes. Poor master builder. You fancy...
Sit down, Hilda. I'll tell you a funny story.
Well?
It all seems so ludicrously trivial. You see, it all turns on a crack in the chimney pipe.
That's all?
To begin with, yes.
So there was a crack in the chimney?
Yes, I'd noticed it for a long time, long before the fire. Every time I went up into the loft, I would look to see if it was still there.
And it was?
Oh, yes, no one else knew about it.
And you didn't say anything?
Nope.
And you didn't think of getting it mended?
Oh, I thought about it, but I didn't do anything. Every time I decided to get down to it, it was as if a hand reached out to stop me. Not today, I thought. Tomorrow. So nothing ever came of it.
Why did you always put it off?
Because a thought had occurred to me. Through this little black crack in this chimney pipe, I might climb my way to the top. To be a master builder.
That must have been exciting.
It was irresistible, almost. Utterly irresistible. It all seemed so unimportant and trivial. I wanted it to happen sometime during the winter. Shortly before dinner, I would be out driving Alina in the sleigh, and the servants would have built up great fires in all the rooms.
Oh, yes, it'd be frightfully cold that day, wouldn't it?
Pretty sharp, yes. And they'd want it to be good and warm for Alina when she came back.
Oh, yes, she suffers from the cold, doesn't she?
She does. And then it was on the way back when we'd see the smoke.
Just the smoke.
To begin with. But then, when we reached the drive, the old pile was a surging mass of flames. That is how I wanted it to happen.
Oh, why couldn't it have happened that way? But just a moment, Master Builder. Are you quite sure that this fire was caused by a little crack in the chimney?
On the contrary, I'm quite sure that the little crack in the chimney had nothing whatever to do with the fire.
What?
It's been established that the fire started in the linen room on the other side of the house.
Then why on earth are you sitting here dribbling about this crack in the chimney?
Hilda, may I talk to you for a little?
Yes, but only if you talk sensibly.
I'll do my best.
Well, out with it, Master Builder.
Don't you think, Hilda, that there are some people singled out by fate who have been endowed with the grace and the power to wish for something, to desire it so passionately, to will it so inexorably, that ultimately they must be granted? Don't you think so?
That is so. Time will come when we shall see if I am one of them.
No man can achieve these things alone. Oh, no. There must be helpers and servers who must be at our side if one is to succeed. But they never come of their own accord. One must call them with all one's strength, but silently, you understand?
Who are these helpers?
Let's discuss that some other time. For the moment, let's concentrate on the fire.
Don't you think there would have been a fire even if you hadn't wished for it?
If old Knut Bruvik had owned that house, I'm sure it would never have burned down at such an opportune moment. For he doesn't know how to call on the helpers, or to summon those to serve him. So you see, Hilda, it is I who am guilty. And those two little boys have to pay with their lives. And isn't it also true that it is my fault that Alina has not become what she could and should have become and what she so longed to become?
But if it's these helpers and
Who
servers...
called on the helpers and servers? I did. And they came and they bowed to my will. And this is what they call being lucky. I'll tell you what it feels like to be lucky. It feels as though the skin has been flayed from my breast. And the helpers and the servers go round, taking skin from other people's bodies to put on my wound. but it can never be healed. Never. If only you knew how it burns sometimes.
You are ill, Master Builder. Very ill, I think.
Well, say, mad. That's what you mean.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with your head.
Well, what then? Out with it.
I'm wondering if you weren't born with an underdeveloped conscience.
Developed conscience? What the devil do you mean?
Well, I mean, your conscience is very frail. Oversensitive. Can't get to grips with things, can't carry a heavy burden.
Oh. And how should a conscience be, may I ask?
Well, in your case, I wish it were a little more robust.
Robust, indeed. Do you have a robust conscience?
I think so. I haven't noticed anything to the contrary.
Ah, but then you've had very little opportunity to test it, have you?
It wasn't all that easy to leave Father. I'm frightfully fond of him.
For a month or two.
I don't think I shall ever go back.
Never? Why did you leave then?
Have you forgotten again? The 10 years are up.
Oh, nonsense. Was there anything wrong at home?
This thing inside me drove me to come here. Tempted and drove me.
That's it, Hilda. That's it. There is troll in you. The same as there is in me. And it's the troll in us that calls to the others outside. And we must submit whether we like it or not.
I begin to think you're right, Master Builder.
Oh, there are many invisible demons in the world, Hilda. Good demons and evil demons. Fair demons and dark. If only one always knew whether it was the fair that had hold of one or the dark. Aha! Could all be so simple.
Or if one had a really brash and hearty conscience, so that one dared to do what one wanted.
I think most people are as cowardly as I in that respect.
That may well be.
In the sagas, have you read any of the old sagas?
Oh, yes, in the days when I used to read.
Those sagas tell of the Vikings. They sailed to foreign lands, they plundered and burned and killed.
And carried away women.
And kept them.
Took them home with them in their ships.
And used them like the worst kind of troll.
I think that must be so exciting.
To take a woman, you mean?
To be taken.
I see.
What were you going to say about these Vikings, Master Builder?
Well, those fellows, their consciences were robust enough. When they got home, they ate and drank. They were as merry as children. And what about the women? Some of them didn't want to leave those men. Can you understand that, Hilda?
I can understand the women frightfully well.
Ah? Perhaps you'd do the same yourself.
Why not?
Live willingly with a brute like that.
If he was a brute, I'd come to grow really fond of.
Could you be fond of such a man?
Master Builder. One can't help whom one grows fond of, can one?
No, no. It's the trolliness that decides that.
Yes. And all those blessed demons you know so much about. The fair and the dark.
I hope the demons choose kindly for you, Hilda.
They have chosen for me. Once and for all.
Hilda, you are like a wild bird of the forest.
Far from it. I'm not shy.
Oh, no, no. There's more of the falcon in you.
Yes, perhaps. Then why not a falcon? Why shouldn't I go hunting too? Get the prey I want. If only I could get my claws into it.
Hilda, do you know what you are?
Yes. I'm a strange kind of bird.
No, no, you are like a new dawn. When I look at you, it is as though I were watching the sunrise.
Tell me, Master Builder, are you sure you've never called to me silently?
Oh, I think I must have done.
What do you want from me?
Your youth, Hilda.
Youth, which you are so afraid of.
And which in my heart I long for.
What about these drawings now?
Hilda, put those things away. I've seen enough of them.
Oh, quite. But you're going to approve them.
Approve them? I'm damned if I am.
Oh, can't you do this one little thing? That poor old man's dying. And then perhaps his son might get a chance to build too.
Oh, yes, he's made sure of that young gentleman.
Oh, for goodness sake, if he has. Can't you bring yourself to lie just a tiny little bit?
Lie! Hilda, take those damn things away from me!
Up now! Don't snap at me! Talk about trolls. I don't give a hate like that yourself. Where do you keep your pen and ink?
I haven't any in here.
Well, that girl will have some.
Hilda, stay where you are. I must tell a lie, you see. I wouldn't mind doing it for the old father, the man I once ruined.
You ruined him, too?
I needed room. But young Ragnar Bruvik, he must on no account be allowed to come to the front.
He won't, will he, poor boy, if he's no good?
If young Ragnar Bruvik gets started, he will break me the way I broke his father.
Very good. He is so good, then.
Oh, yes, he is. Make no mistake. He is the youth that is waiting to bang on my door and make an end to Master Builder soon as.
And yet you wanted to shut him out. For shame, Master Builder.
This struggle has cost me enough. Besides, I'm afraid the helpers and servers won't obey me anymore.
Well, you'll just have to manage by yourself. There's nothing for it.
It's hopeless, Hilda. The tide will turn. Sooner or later, retribution will come.
Don't talk like that! Do you want to take away from me what I value more than my life?
What's that?
To see you great. To see you again with a wreath in your hand, high up on a church tower. At least you must have a pencil. Give it to me.
Yes. Have one here.
Now, we'll write on these drawings, Master Builder. Really nicely and kindly we'll write for this beastly Rangvald or whatever his name is.
Hilda, may I ask you something?
Yes?
If you waited for me for 10 years,
Well?
why didn't you write to me?
Oh, no. No, that was just what I didn't want.
Why not?
I was afraid it might all go wrong. But we were going to write on the drawings, Master Builder.
Yes, so we were.
Oh, how good and kind. Oh, how I hate this Rangvald.
Hilda, have you never been fond of anyone before?
What did you say?
I asked if you'd ever been fond of anyone.
Anyone else, you mean?
Yes. Anyone else? Have you ever?
Yes. Once in a while. And I was really mad with you for not coming.
So, you have been fond of others?
A little, for a week or two. Oh, God, Master Builder, you know how it is.
Hilda, why have you come?
Don't waste time. That poor old man may be dying while you talk.
Answer me. What is it you want from me?
I want my key.
I've brought you a few things, Miss Fennell. There are some big parcels being sent on later.
Oh, how kind you are.
My duty, that's all.
Alina,
Yes.
did you notice if the bookkeeper was out there?
Well, of course she was there. She was standing at the desk, as she always does when I'm in the room.
Then I'll give her these and tell her
Oh, no, let me, please. What's her name?
her name is Miss Fossley.
Oh, that sounds so formal. Her first name, I mean.
Kaya, I think.
Kaya! Come in here. The master builder wanted to speak to you.
Here I am.
Look, Kaya, you can take these now. The master builder has written on them.
Oh, at last.
Yes, give them to the old man as soon as you can.
I'll take them home at once.
Yes, and then Ragnar can begin to build.
Oh, may he come and thank you?
I
for
want no
everything?
thanks. Tell him so from me.
Yes, I'll...
And tell him, too, that from now on I will have no further need for him. Nor you either.
Not for me?
Well, you'll have other things to think about now. Someone else to look after, and that's as it should be. Well, go home with your drawings, Miss Fussy. Quickly, up you go.
Mr. Swift. Oh, what sly eyes she has.
Oh, that poor little creature.
Oh, I'm not blind, Albert. Are you really dismissing them?
Yes.
Her too?
Isn't that what you wanted?
But how will you manage without her? Oh, I see. You have someone else up your sleeve, haven't you, Alva?
Well, I'm no good for standing at desks anyway.
I shall manage somehow, Alina. But you must make arrangements to move into the new house as quickly as possible. Tonight we will hoist the wreath to the top of the spire. What do you think of that, Miss Hilda?
It'll be so marvelously exciting to see you standing high up there again.
Me?
Oh, God. Miss Vanna, you mustn't think of it. My husband gets dizzy. He has no head for heights.
Dizzy? I don't believe it.
Oh, yes, he's always been like that.
But I've seen him myself. High up on a church tower.
Yes, I've heard people talk about that, but it's impossible.
Possible, yes. But nevertheless, I stood up there.
Alva, how can you say that? You hardly even dare to go out onto the balcony on the second floor. You've always been like that.
You may think otherwise this evening.
No. No, no. God will help me to prevent that. I'll write a message to the doctor. He'll talk you out of it.
But, Alina...
You are ill, Alva. That's what it is. You're ill.
Is it true?
that I have no head for heights.
But my master builder cannot, dare not rise as high as he can build.
Is that how you see it?
Yes.
I begin to think there is nothing in me that's safe from you.
Right up there.
You could live up there, Hilda, in the highest room of the tower. You could live there like a princess.
Yes, that's what you promised.
Did I?
For shame, Master Builder. You said you'd make me a princess, and that you'd give me a kingdom, and then you took me.
Are you sure it wasn't a dream? Something you just imagined.
You think you didn't do it?
I hardly know myself. But I do know one thing. That
But you... Say it!
That I should have done it.
You... Dizzy...
Tonight we will hang up our wreath. Princess Hilda.
Over your new home.
Over the new house. It'll never be a home for me.
Frightfully exciting.
Have you been in the garden, Miss Vernal?
Yes, I've been having a look around.
You found some flowers, too, I see.
Yes, there are heaps of them there, among the bushes.
No, are there really? Still? I hardly ever go down there.
I thought you'd skip down there every day.
No, I don't skip anywhere, I'm afraid. Not no longer.
But don't you go down now and then to say hello to all the beautiful things down there?
It's all become so foreign to me, I'm almost afraid to look at it again.
Your own garden?
I don't feel it's mine any longer.
Oh, what rubbish.
No. No, it isn't. It's not like it was in Father's and Mother's time. They've taken such a dreadful lot of it away, Miss Vernal. Can you imagine? They've broken it up and built houses in it for strangers. People I don't know. They can look at me from their windows.
Mrs. Saunders,
Yes?
may I sit here with you for a little?
Oh, yes, please do, if you'd really like to.
One can sit and sun oneself here. Like a cat.
It's very sweet of you to want to sit with me. I thought you were going inside to my husband.
What would I want with him?
I thought you'd want to help him.
No, thanks. Anyway, he's not in. He's down there with the workmen. But he looks so fierce. I hardly dared talk to him.
He's very soft and gentle, really.
He?
You don't know him well enough yet, Miss Vernal.
Are you happy to be moving into the new house?
Well, I should be happy. That's what Halvor wants.
I didn't mean just because of that.
Oh, yes, Miss Vernal, yes. It's my duty to do what he wants, don't you see? It's often so difficult to force oneself to be obedient.
Oh, yes, that must be difficult.
Yes, indeed. When one's as weak a person as I am.
When one has suffered as much as you have.
How do you know that?
Your husband told me.
He so seldom speaks to me of these things. Yes, I've had more than my share of suffering in my lifetime, Miss Vernal.
Poor Mrs. Saunders. First there was that fire.
Yes. Everything I had was burned.
Then there was worse to follow.
Worse?
The worst thing of all.
What do you mean?
You lost both your little boys.
Oh. Yes. Them, well, that was different. That was an act of God. One must resign oneself and be thankful.
Are you?
Not always, I'm afraid. I know too well it's my duty, but I can't.
No, well, I think that's very understandable.
Time and again, I have to remind myself that I was justly punished.
Why?
Well, I wasn't resolute enough in the face of adversity.
But I don't see that you...
No, Miss Vernal. No, don't talk to me any more of the two little boys. We should be happy for them. They're so much, much better off where they are. No, it's the little losses which leave the deepest wound. Things which other people would regard as unimportant.
Dear Mrs. Saunders, tell me, what things?
Just little things. All the old portraits on the walls were burned, and all the old silk dresses that had been in my family for generations. and all Mamma's and Grandmamma's lace, that was burned too. Think of the jewels. And all the dolls.
The dolls?
I had 9 beautiful dolls.
And were they burned too?
All of them. Oh, it was so hard. So hard for me.
Had you kept these dolls then, ever since you were a child?
Oh, I didn't just keep them. They lived with me.
After you'd grown up?
Yes, long after.
But you were married?
Oh, yes. As long as he didn't see them. But then they were burned too, poor dears. No one thought of saving them. Oh, it makes me so sad to think about it. You mustn't laugh at me, Miss Fennel.
I'm not laughing.
They were alive, too, in a way, you see. I carried them under my heart, like little unborn children.
Ah. You're giving yourself a cold, I see, Mrs. Soulness.
Oh, I think it's so nice and warm out here today.
Yes, yes. Is something the matter? I've got a note.
Oh, yes. There's something I have to talk to you about.
By all means. You'd better go inside. Are you still wearing your climbing outfit, young lady?
Rather. Dressed to kill. No climbing for me today, though. You and I will stay down here and watch.
Watch what?
Oh, shush, for heaven's sake. He's coming. Try to dissuade him from this idea. Oh, and do let us be friends, Miss Fennel, can't we?
Oh, if only we could.
Now. He's coming. Doctor, let me talk to you for a moment.
Have you noticed, Hilda? As soon as I come, she goes.
I've noticed that when you come, that makes her go.
No, possibly. I can't help that. You cold, Hilda? You look as if you are.
I've just come up out of a tomb.
What does that mean?
The frost's got into me, Master Builder.
I think I understand.
Why have you come up here?
I saw you.
You must have seen her too.
Oh, I knew she'd go as soon as I came.
Does it hurt you that she always avoids you?
In a way, it's a kind of a relief.
That you don't always have to be looking at her?
Yes.
That you don't have to be reminded the whole time of how much she grieves for her little boys?
Yes, that above all. How long did you talk with her? How long, I asked. Well, what did she talk about? Ah, poor Alina. The children, I suppose. She can't get over it. She'll never get over it. Now you're standing there like a statue again. You stood like that last night.
I want to go.
Go?
Yes.
No, I won't allow it.
What can I do here now?
Just stay here, Hilda.
Oh, thank you very much. It wouldn't end there.
So much the better.
I can't hurt someone I know. I can't take what belongs to her.
Who says you
Now,
will?
from a stranger, yes, that's different. Someone I've never set eyes on. But someone I've got close to, no. No.
I never suggested you should.
Master Builder, you know where it would end. That's why I'm leaving.
Now, what's to become of me after you've gone? What shall I have left to live for afterwards?
It's easy for you. You have your duty to her. You must live for that duty.
It's too late. These powers, these
demons.
Demons, yes, and the troll in me. They've sucked up blood. It was done for my happiness. And it was for my sake she died. And I am chained to the corpse. I who cannot live without joy.
What are you going to build now?
I don't think I shall build much more.
No more happy homes for Mummy and Daddy and all the little children.
God knows whether people will want that sort of thing anymore.
Poor Master Builder. And you've spent 10 years thinking of nothing else. You've given your life to it.
I have, haven't I, Hilda?
Oh, I think it's so wrong. So wrong.
What?
That one should be afraid to seize life, afraid to seize happiness, just because someone stands in the way. Someone one knows.
Someone one has no right to ignore.
Haven't we that right, I wonder? But even so... Oh. Oh, if anyone could sleep, forget it.
Did you have a happy home with your father?
I only had a cage.
And you don't want to go back into it?
Wild birds don't fly into cages.
They want to chase the free air.
Eagles love the chase.
If only one were a Viking. They have hunting in their blood.
What else do they have? Tell me.
A robust conscience.
I know what you're going to build next.
Then you know more than I do, Hilda.
Oh, yes. Master builders are very stupid people.
Well, what's it to be?
The castle.
What castle?
My castle, of course.
You want a castle now?
You owe me a kingdom, don't you?
So you tell me.
And a kingdom's got to have a castle, hasn't it?
I suppose it has.
Good. Build it for me, then. At once.
Within the hour?
Yes. The 10 years are up, and I don't intend to wait any longer. I want my castle, Master Builder.
It's no joke having you as a creditor, Hilda.
Oh, you should have thought of that before. It's too late. Where's my castle? It's my castle.
What does it look like, this castle of yours?
My castle must stand high up, high above everything, open and free on every side, so that I can see for miles around.
It's got a tower, I suppose.
Frightfully high tower. And right at the top of that tower there'll be a balcony, and that's where I shall stand.
How can you bear to be so high up? Doesn't it make you giddy?
I want to stand up there and look down on the others, on the ones who build churches and homes for mothers and fathers and children. And you can come up there and look down too.
Has the master builder leave to climb up to the princess?
If the master builder wishes.
Then I think the master builder will come.
The master builder, he will come.
But he'll never build again, poor master builder.
Oh, yes, he will. We'll build it together. We'll build the most beautiful thing. The most beautiful thing in the world.
Oh, Hilda, tell me, what is it?
Master builders are very, very stupid people.
Yes, they're stupid, I know. But what is the most beautiful thing then? This thing that we're going to build together.
A castle in the air.
Castle in the air?
Castle in the air, yes. Do you know what a castle in the air is?
It's the most beautiful thing in the world, you say?
Yes, of course. Castles in the air are so safe to hide in and easy to build, especially for master builders with a giddy conscience.
From now on, we two will build together, Hilda.
Real castle in the air?
Yes. Built on a true foundation.
The wreath. Oh, it's going to be absolutely marvelous.
You brought the wreath, Ragnar.
I promised the foreman I would.
Your father's better then.
No.
Well, but didn't it cheer him up what I wrote?
It came too late.
Too late?
By the time she came with it, he'd lost consciousness. He'd had a stroke.
Well, go back home to him, Ragnar. Go back and look after your father.
He doesn't need me anymore.
Well, surely you should be with him.
She's sitting with him.
Kaya,
Yes, Kaya.
go back to them, Ragnar. Go back home. Give me the wreath.
Surely you're not going to.
I'll take it down there myself. Go home. We won't need you anymore.
I know you won't. But today I'm staying.
Oh, stay, by all means.
Master Builder. I shall stand up here and watch you.
Watch me.
It'll be frightfully exciting.
We'll talk about that later, Hilda.
You could at least have thanked him.
Thanked him? Should I have thanked him?
Yes, you should.
I ought to thank you, if anyone.
How can you say such a thing?
But you watch out. You don't know him yet.
I know him better than anyone.
Thank him, who's held me back year after year, who's made my father lose his belief in me, made me lose belief in myself, and all just so that he could...
So that he could what?
keep her.
The girl at the desk?
Yes.
It's not true, you're lying.
I didn't believe it myself either until today when she told me.
What did she tell you, huh? I want to know, now. Now!
She said he'd taken possession of her mind, that he directed all her thoughts towards himself. She says she'll never be able to free herself from him, that she'll stay wherever he is.
She won't.
Oh, and who's going to stop her, are you?
I won't be the only one.
Oh, yes, of course. Now she'd only be a nuisance to him.
You don't understand anything if you talk like that. No, I'll tell you why he kept her on.
Why?
To keep you.
Did he tell you that?
No, but it's true. Must be. It is. I want it to be.
And the moment you came, he let her go.
It was you he let go. What do you think he cares about girls like that?
You mean he's been afraid of me all these years?
Oh, I'm afraid of you. Oh, no, fancy yourself.
Oh, he must have realized a long time ago that I've got something in me. Besides, afraid. That's just what he is. Don't you see?
Try to make me believe that.
In some ways, the great master builder is afraid. Oh, he's not afraid to destroy people's happiness the way he has father's and mine. But you ask him to climb up a few feet of scaffolding, and he'll crawl down on his hands and knees and pray to God for deliverance.
Oh, if only you'd seen him as high up, as giddily high as I once saw him.
You've seen that?
Yes, I've seen it. Oh, so proud and free as he stood up there, as he tied the wreath to the church weathercock.
I know he dared do it the once, just the once. We've often talked about it. But no power on earth would persuade him to do it again.
He'll do it today.
Don't you believe it?
You'll see.
I won't, and neither will you.
I will. I must see it.
But you won't. You just daren't. The great master builder has got this yellow streak.
Isn't
Isn't he here? Where's he gone?
The master builder is over there with the workmen.
He took the wreath.
Took the wreath. Oh, my God. My God, Ruby, go down to him. Get him to come back here.
Shall I say you wish to speak to him?
Yes, yes, please do, my dear boy. No, don't tell him I want him. Tell him there's someone here. That he must come back at once.
Very well, I'll tell him that, Mrs. Saunders.
Oh, Miss Vanna, you can't imagine how frightened I am for him.
But what is there to be so frightened about?
Well, suppose he's serious. Suppose he takes it into his head to climb up the scaffolding.
Do you think he will?
Oh, one can never be quite sure what he might do. He's quite capable of doing anything.
Oh, so you too think he's a bit...
I no longer know what to think. The doctor's been telling me so many strange things. And when I think of some of the things I've heard him say...
Not here yet.
No, I've sent him a message. He'll be back soon.
You'd better go inside, Mrs. Saunders.
No, I want to wait here for Halver.
But some ladies have come to see you.
Oh, my God, no. Not now.
Yes, they say they simply must watch the ceremony.
Oh, well, I suppose I'd better go into them. It's my duty.
Can't you tell them to go away?
Oh, no. Since they've come, it's my duty to receive them, but you stay out here, though, and talk to him when he gets back.
Yes, talk to him and keep him here as long as possible.
Yes, please, dear Miss Vandal, keep him here as long as you can.
Hadn't you better do that yourself?
Oh, well, yes, it's my duty, really, but one has so many duties.
Here he is.
Oh, dear. Just as I have to go inside.
Don't tell him I'm here.
Oh, no. I'll find other things to talk about with the master builder.
Keep him here. I think you can do that better than anyone.
I was told there's someone here wants to speak with me.
Yes, master builder, I want to speak with you.
It's you, Hilda. I was afraid it might be a leader and the doctor.
You scare very easily, don't you?
That's what you think.
Yes, people say you're scared of clambering around on the scaffolding.
That's different.
Then you are afraid of it?
Yes, I am.
Afraid you might fall down and kill yourself?
No, not that.
Well, what then?
I am afraid of retribution, Hilda.
Retribution? I don't understand.
Sit down. I'll tell you something.
Yes, tell me. Out with it.
You know, I began by building churches.
Yes, I know that.
You see, when I was a boy, my parents were pious country people, and I thought that building churches was the finest work a man could choose to do.
Yes, yes?
I think I might say that I built those humble little churches with such honesty and tenderness and devotion that...
Well?
Yes, that I think he ought to have been pleased with me.
He? Which he?
He who the churches were meant for, of course. He whose honor and glory they were meant to proclaim.
I see. But are you so sure that he wasn't pleased with you?
He pleased with me. How can you talk so foolishly, Hilda? He who let the troll in me cut loose. He who bade these others wait on me day and night. These...
Demons?
Yes. Oh, no. I was made to realize that he wasn't pleased with me. That's why he let the old house burn down, you see.
Was that what?
Yes, don't you understand? He wanted to give me the chance to be a real master in my own field, so that I could build greater churches to his glory. At first, I didn't realize what he wanted. But then, suddenly, it all became clear to me.
When was this?
When I built the church tower up at Lysanger.
I thought so.
You see, Hilda, up there where I was a stranger, I spent so much time by myself, brooding and puzzling. And then I saw clearly why he had taken my little children from me. It was so that I would have nothing to bind me, you see. No love, no happiness, or anything. I was to be a master builder, nothing more. And all my life was to be spent building for him. But that wasn't the way it worked out.
What did you do?
First of all, I examined and tried myself.
And then?
And then, like him, I did the impossible.
The impossible?
I could never bear to climb up high before. But that day I did it.
Yes, yes, you did.
And as I stood high up there, right at the top, and placed the wreath over the weathercock, I said to him, "Listen to me, mighty one. Henceforth, I want to be a free master builder, as free in my field as you are in yours. I never want to build churches for you again. Only homes for people to live in."
That was the song I heard in the air.
But he took his revenge later.
What do you mean by that?
Building homes for people isn't worth tuppence, Hilda.
How can you say that now?
Because I see now that people have no use for the homes they live in. They can't be happy in them. And a home wouldn't have been any use to me, even if I'd had one. So you see, when all the accounts are closed, I have built nothing really. And sacrificed nothing. It all adds up to nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
And will you never build again?
Oh, yes. Now I shall begin.
Oh, what? Will you build what? Tell me quickly!
I shall build the only place where I believe happiness can exist.
Master builder. You mean our castles in the air?
Our castles in the air.
I'm afraid you'll get giddy before we've climbed halfway.
Not if I can go hand in hand with you, Hilde.
Just with me? Won't there be others?
Others? What do you mean?
That Kaya at the desk. Poor thing, aren't you going to take her too?
So that's what Alina and you were sitting here talking about.
Is it true or isn't it?
I won't answer that. You must believe in me unquestioningly.
I have believed in you for 10 years unquestioningly.
You must go on believing in me.
Then let me see you stand up there, high and free.
Oh, Hilde. One can't do things like that every day.
I want you to. I want you to. Please, Master Builder, just once more, do the impossible again.
If I try it, Hilde, I shall speak to him the way I spoke to him before.
What will you tell him?
I shall say to him, "Hear me, Almighty Master. Judge me as you will, but from now on I will build only one thing. The most beautiful thing in the world. I shall build it together with a princess whom I love."
Yes, tell him that. Tell him that.
I will tell him. And then I will say, "Now I go down to take her in my arms and kiss her."
Many times. Tell him that.
Many, many times I will tell him.
And then?
And then I will wave my hat in the air and come down and do as I told him.
Now I see you again as I saw you when I heard that song in the air.
Hilda, how have you become what you are?
How have you made me what I am?
The princess will have her castle.
Master Builder, my beautiful, beautiful castle. Our castle in the air.
Built on a true foundation.
Are we going to have music too?
It's the Builders Association. The foreman asked me to tell you he's ready to go up with the wreath.
Good. I'll go down there myself.
What are you going to do down there, Alva?
I must be down below with the men.
Down below? Oh, yes, of course, down below.
I always do it. It's my everyday custom.
Tell the man to be careful when he climbs up. Promise me that, Halvard.
You see, I was right. He's put these mad ideas out of his head.
Oh, what a relief. 2 of our men have fallen, and they were both killed instantaneously. Thank you so much, Miss Vanel, for holding on to him. I'd never have been able to budge him.
Yes, Miss Vanel. I'm sure you know how to hold on to someone when you really want to.
You see all those young men down in the street, Miss?
Yes.
They're my fellow apprentices come to watch the master.
What do they want to watch him for?
They want to watch him not dare to climb up his own house.
Oh, is that what the little boys want?
Oh, he's kept us down for so long, now we want to see him keeping himself down for a change.
You won't. Not this time.
Oh? And where shall we see him then?
High up by the weathercock. That's where you'll see him.
Him? Not likely.
He intends to climb to the top, and you'll see him there.
Oh, he intends to, I'm sure. But he can't. He just can't. He'd get giddy long before he'd climbed halfway. He'd have to crawl down again on his hands and knees.
Ah, look. There's the foreman climbing up.
Oh, yes, he's got the wreath. I do hope he'll take care.
But that's not
It's the master builder himself.
This is Halvard. Oh, my God. Halvard! Halvard!
Don't shout.
I must go to him. I must make him come down.
Stand still, all of you. Don't make a sound.
He's climbing and climbing. Higher, higher. Look, just look.
He must turn back now. He must.
He's climbing, climbing. Soon he'll be up.
I can't bear to look. I shall die of fright.
Don't look up at him then.
There he is, at the top of the scaffolding. Right up at the top.
Stand still, all of you. No one make a move. Stand here.
Now I see him great and free again. That's how I've seen him all these 10 years. Oh, how squarely he stands. Frightfully exciting, though. Oh, look! Now he's hanging the wreath over the spire.
I can't believe it. This is impossible.
Yes, that's what he's doing now. The impossible. Could you see anyone else up there with him?
There is no one.
Oh, yes, there's someone he's arguing with.
I'm mistaken.
Perhaps you can't hear a song in the air either.
Must be the wind in the trees.
I hear a song. A mighty song. Oh, look! Look, now he's waving his hat! He's waving to us down here! Oh, wave back to him! He's done it! He's done it at last! Hurrah for Solis! Hurrah for the master builder!
Stand still. Be quiet. For God's sake! For God's sake, quiet!
Smashed to pieces. Killed outright.
Run down to the doctor.
I can't move a step.
Well, call down to someone then.
How is he? Is he alive? The master builder is dead.
His head was crushed. He fell into the stone pit.
Oh, I can't see him up there any longer.
Oh, this is terrible. See, he hadn't the strength after all.
But he climbed right to the top. And I heard harps in the air.